Today on Drawbli,
I am focusing on one idea to make drawing 1,000 times easier.
hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we're self-taught artists documenting our drawing adventures because art's better when shared with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And don't forget to check out our guidebook on daily drawing linked below. Abby, you have an idea to make drawing 1,000 times easier? Sign me up.
Okay, Ben, so first you gotta tell me, what are you most interested in that's not drawing?
Oh man,
That's-
wow,
yeah.
that's a hard question. Well, I do really enjoy like the act of drawing, like not just like drawing specific things. Oh man, I'll have to think about that.
Something totally
one.
not art related. What's the most recent thing that you've been really interested in that's not art related?
Probably like certain video games, collectible card games.
Maybe a book you've read recently?
Oh yeah, that's true. Piranesi was an
Yes.
amazing read that I
Yes.
really enjoyed.
I also enjoyed it very much.
Thank you for reminding me of what I'm interested in.
You're welcome. Something else I've been really enthusiastic and excited to learn about recently has been Appalachian people and their culture. We have always lived near the Appalachians
And how is that going to make drawing easier?
because I am specifically seeking out images of Appalachian people, and I'm drawing things that are just genuinely very interesting to me, that really capture my attention and interest.
And that makes drawing easier?
It does. It really does. It makes it more fun, I guess, to draw these things because they feel heartwarming to you. They nourish your soul in different kinds of ways, just to see these images of things that make you happy because that's what you're interested in right now. So
What about the people who have to like do studies and stuff for school or for potential future jobs?
I mean, it's all a blend. We're always mishmashing together whatever crazy amalgamation it is of motivations, both extrinsic and intrinsic, to advance us towards a final goal, or at least a habit of becoming better at a thing. So in some days, that's going to be, it's so great to have an assignment from a professor that tells me to do this boring thing over and over because I don't want to do it and I wouldn't do it unless he told me to. Other days, it's more like, I just want to draw something that is super interesting to me and makes this feel really exciting again. My sister, who is in art school, fondly speaks of one art class she has that everybody in the class says, this has taken all the fun out of drawing.
Oh.
And they're drawing beautiful things, like really, really cool things and paintings.
What is taking the fun out exactly?
I think it's the assignment factor of it, like the intensity of it, the speed of it.
Gotcha.
And it's just all one big homework assignment, but she's, improving dramatically, and that's really cool to see. So this is the other side of that coin of, I'm not being graded on this. Nobody's pushing me to improve in a big way besides myself, and I'm just kind of doing it for fun, and it's over when I think it's over. And
I like that.
I liked it so much that I was drawing this week, and I was out of the house, and I hadn't realized it, but my iPad is so full of Procreate files
Oh yeah.
that I was recording my screen, and it was on this piece. I got a good chunk of this recorded, and then the second time I went to draw,
It died.
it said you can't save any more videos.
You're done. Your iPad is chock-a-full of all your amazing drawing.
Yes, but I like this so much that I said to myself, I just want to keep drawing on this for its own sake then. It's not going to record.
Whoa.
I'm going to draw some other things from this subject and category, and I'll show the images. But we won't see the footage because I don't have it for you. It'll show up in like a YouTube short because it keeps the time-lapse footage, so I'll put it briefly in that. But like this grandpa and this baby, which I loved, you won't see the full like workflow of it.
That's okay. We show so much of our process. I do really like the way you're handling the darker areas of shadow, though. I think that's really interesting. That's something that you talked about in a recent video as well.
Yes, it's evolved naturally from my focus this week on using one hue to create a piece. So we jump to whatever this finished work is, which I just loved working on. I left the grandpa's face kind of unfinished while the baby's was more refined, which
That's
is super
really cool.
fun to me.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, and
I see that these are also continuing in the theme of singular color for your study. So that you can kind of like narrow your focus, as we've talked about
Exactly.
previously.
The nice thing about working from black and white reference is that it really lets you shift to focus on the values. But I also find it fun to work in a color that is not black. Just, I like it. You know, if I have the option to work in a sepia tone, I will. Or
Yeah, I agree.
umber.
So, like, for someone, let's say me, or maybe somebody watching that is, you know, not sure exactly what to draw. They want to draw, but they don't know what to draw. Like, what can they do?
Well,
What can I do?
This is one source of an idea to help you know where to search for reference, because something we've discovered in Drawbli is that sometimes the big battle is finding reference that you like and connect with. So if you start from there, that can kind of guide you, at least focus you in, so that searching for reference doesn't become this unbearable rabbit hole of scrolling through image after image after image after image, and they're all not good enough, or they're all just so basic. And this is a great way to narrow that down and find something that stands out to you.
Yeah, I've definitely been there myself, and recently, of like scrolling and scrolling, trying to find something, and nothing is like really clicking. I'm like, oh, I've done something similar to this recently. I want to do something new, but I'm not exactly sure what. I think sometimes finding the reference can be really difficult. But one of the things that I've learned in our time in Drawbli is that typically, even if I pick something that I'm not in love with, by the time I sit down and like start working on it, sometimes it will just click anyway.
Oh yeah, like this picture out of the several pictures I saved to my iPad, it wasn't like my favorite or anything, but I ended up working more on this one than any of the others because it was just, I don't know, it was just clicking for me.
Yeah, leaving
Going
space
along.
to be pleasantly surprised by yourself.
Yes.
Which
And-
happens more often than I would have imagined
Yes.
when we first started Drawbli.
Something I also like for a flow state too is to have an audiobook in my ear of something maybe I've listened to before, just an old favorite or something new. But just throwing that out there as a random fun fact of making drawing easier. But for me, this week, what that looks like is drawing people that come up in a Pinterest search for Appalachian photos. Whether or not these sources are truly Appalachian, I do not know, because I did not dig deeply into the source material.
But they
for
gave
each
you the
one.
vibe.
Yes, I was like, this is close enough to the vibe and close enough to something I'm interested in right now. That's good enough for me. So that's my big takeaway, and I hope that I think facts and tricks like this work in cycles where you're like, right now this doesn't work for me. And a couple months from now, maybe you'll find yourself in a spot where it works really well for you. Maybe it only works for like a week or a month, and then you have to find a new trick. That's how I feel like I am constantly.
Constantly tricking myself into drawing.
Yes, tricking myself into doing the things that I want to do anyway, but making them stay fresh and interesting. Because, you know, it's easy to get into a rut, and it's nice to keep things lively.
Yeah, I also think just being consistent with drawing has been really amazing for myself, of like, even when I feel like I can't draw today, or I don't know what to draw today, just sitting down for like a minute has been really helpful to like not force myself, but you know, you're familiar with the 1 minute rule where you sit down and you're like, well, I'm already here and I'm doing it, so I might as well keep doing it. Where it also does kind of feel a little bit like a trick.
Yes, it's definitely something I've been thinking about too lately, is like trying to be more present in the moment, if that makes sense. Some people will be familiar with that concept more than others, because some people have put a lot of thought and time into trying to be present in the moment. Typically people who like to worry about things.
Oh. I don't know if that's true. I think a lot of people are interested in that idea.
That's
a lot of people
true.
do meditation and stuff.
That's true, but drawing is one of those things where there's all this stuff you have to do that's not drawing, but when you sit down and draw, you can choose to be in the moment, and I think that's really nice about it. And so in these, I was in the moment.
Ooh, and so these are the ones that didn't make the footage cut.
No, some of these did, but the woman holding the
Right.
little child didn't. I loved that one. So
Yeah,
that
that
was
one's so
unfortunate.
fun.
I loved
The
it.
expression is amazing in that.
This bluish one here of this girl eating an apple was very fast, but very fun to do. Very value focused.
That is super cool.
And then the other three you saw.
Wow, I like seeing those. And I like drawing, or I like you drawing what you're interested in.
Thank you.
And if you want to draw what you're interested in more, click that like and subscribe button and check out our guidebook on how to easily draw every day at the link below.
And share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli because drawing is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
I wonder what I'm going to be really interested in next.
I don't know, Abby, but you have referred to yourself as a serial hobbyist, so I'm sure you'll find something new soon.
I'm sure I will.